heard that one all the way from Surrey to Africa. Lion, you're exactly right. Now lions, if they take on these animals, they have to be very careful. They can get hurt badly because those horns are very, very dangerous to the lions, so they have to be very, very clever at hunting. I've just got a question come through in my earpiece. This is very exciting, my friends. Shoot that question to me, please, Nikki. We just got a fantastic question from Amy Clark on Twitter. Amy, fantastic, really, really good question. It's one of the things why we're down here. Wildlife viewing all around the world is different. Amy's asking, is it harder to see wildlife in the United Kingdom, or in Surrey for that matter, than it is in Africa? I would have to say it's harder to a point, but once you learn what to look for, you can see loads of stuff. You can see so much in Surrey, and you've just got to know what to look for. You've got to get down and turn over logs. You've got to look at the small stuff. In the United Kingdom, and in Surrey particularly, because that's where we are, things like badgers, and we've got loads of other small mammals, lots of different birds, but then let's get down to the small things as well. Lift over those logs and have a look for woodlice, have a look for ground beetles, have a look for millipedes and centipedes, and all different things like that, and start to learn that those little creatures are as important as these creatures right here, because they fit into something called I don't think I heard you. It's links. It's a food. I can't hear you.
I hope so.
Yeah, those nests are built there, hanging from that tree. And you know what? The male goes to the most incredible effort to build that nest for the female, to attract her, to say, come, I've built you a house, this is magnificent, please don't judge me on my building, tell me what you think of it. And if the female doesn't show enough interest in it, he throws his toys and pulls it apart and has to rebuild it. Oh, some people just don't appreciate things these days, but we Maybe it is. Do you want to come off me, mate? Just so I can do a little recap. Really sorry, everyone. Thank you for sticking around. These things happen sometimes. When you think about what we're doing, we're actually broadcasting out of a Land Rover. And if you try and think about all the technology that's involved in that, what happened just then, believe it or not, our satellite in London just went down. So it wasn't anything to do with us down here. It was our satellite in London. It's all back up and running. I hope you can hear me. I hope you can see me. And let's get back on the road with our safari. Now, the reason why we wanted to do this is because the Surrey Wildlife Trust, I am the education manager at the Surrey Wildlife Trust, and I just had this idea of my past world of working with wildlife and on National Geographic and everything. I wanted to combine that with this incredible thing that the Surrey Wildlife Trust does, and that is gives people access to their countryside and to learn and appreciate their countryside in Surrey. And that's so important. As I've always said, it doesn't matter whether it's a moth or a beetle or an elephant. Everything is as important as each other. Elephant. I wonder where you'd find one of those, Jamie.
Don't ask me.
Let's just have a quick look around here. Oh, hang on. What's that? There's a big thing over there with a long thing out of its nose there. Oh, right. Yes, look at that. Hey, we have a beautiful, beautiful elephant there, and the rest of the herd, I think. We're going to go and try and catch up with a bit of water, whatever's left, or maybe pick some, eat some sort of green grass or some plants that are using what water is left over. It's very dry in some parts at the moment. Elephants are very, very versatile in the sense that they can eat loads of different plants. They can eat all different things from grasses to big thick sticks. So we might just go up and have a look where the rest of them are. Elephants. Yes, that's a great thing. I think there was a breeding herd up here. And what we mean by a breeding herd is females, normally related females. So just like a family, a human family in a way, related sisters sometimes, or one mother and her offspring, her daughters, that are still all in the herd, and their babies. And sometimes you get a herd of about 30 animals. life, mate. I'm so sorry. We really apologise for this little gremlin in the system this afternoon here, and this morning for you. Sometimes these things happen, and we really apologise. But Alex and Tara and Nikki and everyone worked so hard back in Final Control with rebooting the system, and that basically means, you know, when you have to turn your computer on and off to make it work again. It's a little bit more technical than that, but that's what we had to do. It doesn't happen very often, but it just happened to happen today. Anyway, who cares about that when we've got a magnificent creature in our sights right there, right in front of our picture is a zebra. And that was a great question from Paul before about talking what's the similarities, or how similar are horses to zebras. Well, you can really have a good look now, and we've got, this one's called a Burchell zebra, and it's got that beautiful coat pattern, those stripes, and I'm sure many of you might know this already, but if you don't, that coat pattern is just like a fingerprint, just like our fingerprints. Every single individual is different. They can run really fast too, really fast. So they get about, or a big stallion, a big male can get about over 300 kilograms. Okay, yes, that is just under 3 times me, but they are probably a lot more muscular than me. These creatures, what do you think they might do? Do you think they might eat leaves off the trees, or they might eat grass off the ground? Can't hear you. Oh yes, I did. I heard you that time. That's exactly right. They're grazing animals. They sometimes will have a nibble on a leaf if food isn't very easy to find. I don't see it very often, and that beautiful stripe pattern and that lovely upright mane at the back, going down the back of their neck there. Ah, they're beautiful, and they're just sitting in this really sort of cool area in a bit of shade because it is starting to warm up. I'm going to move on, and we might see some more zebra. We might have some more questions coming as well, I think. Thank you so much for all the feedback and everyone that said so many lovely things. Really sorry about the little dropout, but as I said, we worked really hard to get it back up and running. So we've got a question coming in now, and I'll just see who it's from. Or in the United Kingdom that I haven't seen that I'd like to see. Well, the first one in Africa doesn't happen in this country. A little bit of breakup. Okapi, beautiful animal. It's got little horns, skin-covered horns like the giraffe. The animal I'd really like to see that I still haven't seen in the wild in England or in the United Kingdom is the otter. I want to see an otter live. So maybe someone could take me out looking for otters one day. It'll be purely scientific. Whoops, sorry about that. That would be great. Okay, I'm just getting an update through now from our Final Control, and Tara is helping me with that. Oh my goodness. Now, my friends, I've just got an update from my dear friend, Mr. Peter Pretorius, who is another great presenter that works on this project, Safari Live, and he is at Buffelshoek Dam looking for creatures for us. Now, I'm going to make a little bit of a faster drive there, if that's okay. I'm going to go up onto a road here, what we call the Buffelshoek Cut Line, and that basically means the Buffelshoek Highway, and it's a much flatter road, not so bumpy, and I have to drive for about 5 minutes to get there, but there are some creatures there that I really want to show you. So we might just answer some questions along the way and talk a little bit as we're driving, if that's okay, and I might have to shout a little bit if that's okay too. We've got another question coming through. Come up to the top of this little peak here, because sometimes our signal drops out in those little tiny little gullies there, or little dry riverbeds. We've got a question from Lawrence in Godston Village School. Lawrence, how are you, buddy, and how's your school? Your school comes to our wonderful Bay Pond Nature Reserve down there. So good to hear from you, my friend. Lawrence, your question is a great one about warthogs. Why do warthogs like the hot African sun? Well, I don't know whether they necessarily like it, but what they will do is tolerate it, or just put up with it. They have to, I suppose. If it gets really, really hot during the day, they will retreat, and I wonder if you could think about where they would retreat. I'm not sure if you've got access to email right now, Lawrence, with your teacher, but if all the class wants to get together and have a think about where a warthog might go to get out of the sun, and maybe email us back. And if we do, and if I don't hear from you, I'll give you the answer in about 5 minutes anyway. But if you can get together, and the teachers, whoever your wonderful teacher is that set you up to watch this today, and hats off to all the teachers as well, super job, and I'm going to give you a big shout out at the end. See if you can send me a quick email or a tweet, and if the class gets together, try and figure out maybe 2 or 3 places that a warthog might like to get out of the sun, that hot sun. And I'll come back to you, Lawrence. Great question, buddy. So another question coming through. Great question from Surrey Westbury House School, Roshan in Year 4. Thank you so much, my friends, for watching. I love it when your school comes to visit, and particularly when you're with us in Africa as well. Roshan, your question is, why do lions have a mane? Well, make sure this is the superhighway. You still have to look to see if there's a car coming. Look at that, isn't that brilliant? Off into the African bush. Shall we just drive until we can't stop? Come on, let's go. The reason why lions have manes is a few different reasons. And I'll go a little bit slow here just so I can answer your question properly. Jamie and Jeandré, can you tell me if anything like a big thing with a trunk comes out in front of me, okay? Yeah, just tell me, just go, big thing with a trunk.
Big thing with a trunk, got it.
That mane is an adaptation or a special feature of the lions to make them look really big and impressive. It's a big showy thing that they, once they get to about 4 years of age, or maybe 6 even, they get their full mane. When they're only about 2 and 3, they look like what I used to look like when I was a teenager and I tried to grow a beard. It didn't really work. All very patchy and quite ugly, really. But eventually they get this wonderful mane. I'm just going to go through this and come out the other side so we don't lose the signal again. And that mane makes them look really beautiful and impressive. Now, it has another reason as well, and that is to protect itself, or to protect it when they do get into fights or battles with other males. And that does happen quite often. So it protects them, and it also looks really big and impressive. But what it doesn't do is let them hide, or it makes them become very conspicuous. It's a bit like you trying to walk through the long grass on your hands and knees with your hands standing up, like that. The females don't have that mane, and they can go through the grass with undetected, more like sort of superheroes. And the boys are just, they try and do it, but then they go, oh yeah, there's the boy. And he gets detected very easily. So a couple of really good things, but then one thing that doesn't make them as good a hunter as the females sometimes. But they can still hunt very well. Great great question. Thank you so much, matey. And we've got another question coming through. Double check. I want to make sure I get your name right. Can you just repeat the name for that wonderful person for me, please?
Sorry, I'm gonna go.
Can we just cut?
I don't want to get hit.
Rayan, we're just going to cut for 1 second, guys. We're going to do something very important here now, and this is something that you can see. This is Jamie just gotten off the back of the truck for me, and I stopped for that very, very reason, is that this car was coming down the road, and you're right. This car was coming down the road, and thanks, mate. Thanks, buddy. Thank you. One of the wonderful landowners, Bernie. Everyone knows each other here. It's just a big family. It's so fantastic. Look what we have here. Jamie, you should tell people about this. Come and stand down and yell out into this microphone. Jamie just saved that animal's life.
Maybe. They might have seen him. They might not if it wasn't worth the risk. So guys, crossing the road as fast as possible after his near escape from the car is a leopard tortoise. Look at him go. Oh, is he going to do it? How's he going to do it?
Come on, buddy, you can do it. Come on, everyone in Surrey. I want to hear you cheering for him now.
Yay.
I want to be able to hear you from Africa. Yes, you can. Come on. You're free.
Yeah, well done.
Well done.
So we don't know if it's a boy or a girl because we can't pick them up and touch them at the moment. You can tell if you look at the bottom shell. So on the boys, they've got a curve at the bottom of their shell. On the ladies, it's completely flat. But because it's so dry at the moment and there's been no rain, I don't want to touch him and I don't want to interfere, because sometimes what they do is it's almost like they pee when they get scared and they get rid of all of their stored water. And I don't want to do that to him now because he's got nowhere to go to get more.
So Jamie wasn't just, not because she didn't want to get it on herself, it's just because he stored that water up and she didn't want him to lose all that water and have to go and try and find water. That's really fantastic. So Jamie just actually saved that creature's life, because sometimes cars come down here and they don't see the animal. It doesn't happen. I don't think it's happened since I've ever been here. But helping that animal across the road has allowed it to carry on with its existence. And we might just pass and get a bit of a close-up there. Put it this way, I don't have to rush. There we go. I think you might be able to get in there, Jeandré, sorry. He's just there. That's got him. Just in there. That's a nice little shot there of the markings, Jamie, hey, on his shell. Hence where he gets his name, hey?
Yep, leopard tortoise, like a leopard spots.
Isn't he great? Wow, that's a real find, and you don't get the chance to do that very often. So we might move on. We're en route to Buffelshoek Dam, and you know what? I have to tell you the most important thing about this, it's live. Nothing of this we've planned. It's just happening. We go and try and find the animals, just like you can do in your garden or at one of our wildlife reserves in Surrey, in the Surrey Wildlife Trust. You've got so much to choose from there, and to get outside and go and explore yourself is a really, really important thing to do. I'm just getting an update from Tara. I'm coming right back. Thank you. Okay, so we're just heading to Buffelshoek now and see if we can find some more animals. And I have another question coming through. This is great fun. Great question from Charlene in Godstone Village School. Why do wildebeest have such big horns? Well, lots of different animals have really big horns, and as they would have evolved over time because of the way that they fought or way that they can use them for different things. The wildebeest do have really big ones. I'm just going to drive a bit slower because the team are just telling me that the signal's a little bit bad. We're just looking at our aerial, making sure it's not loose. Just go a little bit slow here for you. So I can't really give you too much more than that, Charlene, other than they do have big horns. Lots of different species have big horns. Some, like the kudu, which is the animal that we saw before, they've got horns about the size of like a red deer. Kudu, as I said, are a bit more similar to like red deer, but I'm going to go on to something else about horns, and you've made me talk about this. Thank you very much. Great question. Horns and antlers are two very different things. Very different. So, animals crossing the road up here.
Go through this area fast.
Go through this dip. Those little spots there, we get a little bit of a dip in our signal. And I'm coming back to your question, Charlene. I promise you to finish it off. But if we can't drive past these guys, we were looking for these before. Really, really beautiful, beautiful animal called an impala. Now, an impala is probably our most common antelope here in the Sabi Sands in Juma and Arathusa, where we are now. Very successful, very, very high numbers of these antelope. Beautiful little herd here. And after we've talked about these for a little second, Jeandré is going to do a full pan around to the opposite side of the road where the big male is, and he's called a ram. He may run across in front of us. No, he's going to come across to you, Jeandré. There we go. Beautiful. So he's got horns. You can see a couple of the other little ones. Some of them in there got little horns, smaller horns, but they're young males, but he's the dominant male, or the successful male, covering this, looking after his herd here. Oh, he's got a little limp on his back foot there. And the horn and the antler are two different things. So everyone listening, we don't have any antelope that live in the United Kingdom, particularly in Surrey. We only have deer in Europe or the United Kingdom, particularly. And the horns, they are born, and these little tiny stumps on the top of their skull, and then what they do is they eventually grow these beautiful, beautiful horns, whereas antlers are shed every year. Each year they grow from a little stump, and they go up and up and up and up, and then they fall off, and then the next year they get a little bit bigger, and then the next year they get a little bit bigger, and that is the deer family. Okay, so we've got deer in the United Kingdom and in Surrey. We've got the roe deer and a red deer and that sort of thing, fallow deer in Richmond Park, but we don't have any antelope. So antelope have horns for life, and deer don't have. They drop them every year. Yeah. Right, now I'm going to try and get to this dam and see what we can find there, because we've got about 14 minutes to go, I think. I don't want to drive too fast down here, and oh, is it that one? No, sorry. Yeah, no, sorry. I nearly thought I missed the road there, because I'm not looking to drive. We often don't have any traffic. We've got to watch out for elephants and rhinos, and buffalo are always not a good one. So, tortoises, very good. But how wonderful is this, being able to talk to you from Africa whilst you're sitting in Surrey in your wonderful classes and schools. So I just want to give a little shout out to the teachers. the teachers, your teachers that have gotten this together for you, and as much of the little hiccups and the problems we've had, we don't have to worry about that too much anymore because we're back with you, I hope, in your classrooms. You teachers listening, thank you so much for organising this for the kids. All the students listening, your teachers are probably the second most important adults in your life, you know, other than your parents or guardians, because you spend a lot of the time of the day with them and they want to give you as much knowledge as they possibly can and get you through life as best they possibly can, helping your parents. And that's why you go to school, that's why you learn, that's why we're doing what we're doing right now. So hats off to the teachers. Can everyone in each classroom right now give the teachers a round of applause, please? Yes, everyone. Hey, round the schools that are listening, a round of applause. Very important people. Overworked and underpaid. We may have all different types of creatures here, so we'll just keep our eyes out. Before I take this next question, I just want to come up to this waterhole a little bit quiet, and I just don't want to be talking too loud, so just bear with me, and I'm keeping my eyes open as well, because just looking to see what's here. We're going to say hello to Peter firstly. Hey buddy.
How's it going?
Very good, mate. Very
everyone,
good.
how's it going?
This is Peter, everyone. Peter is one of the presenters I work with loads. We've got the drone overhead at the moment, and Pete and I work together with Jamie and Brent and Scott and James and all these other fantastic people. And my car's not going to roll. We've had a couple of hiccups, we've had a couple of dropouts and things like that, but you know what, I've just explained to all the kids it's live, and it's also streaming from the back of this Land Rover. And this is a great thing to show, Jeandré, isn't it? This is our aerial that's up the back. There's normally a big camera sitting on that. Pete and I have got exactly the same vehicles here, and this is where we broadcast out of. So it's pretty cool stuff. So what have we got down at the waterhole, mate? You've got buffalo?
Well, you're going to have some nice stuff.
Elephant?
There's a beautiful antelope just arriving now.
Okay.
There was a giraffe earlier. We didn't, it hasn't come and drunk it, so it is around the area.
Okay.
And that might be done.
Okay. All right, mate.
Things.
We're going to go and sit and watch for a bit. Thanks, mate. Thanks,
Cheers, guys. Have fun. Enjoy England. And enjoy, more importantly, Africa.
Thanks, mate. They're pretty cool looking cars, aren't they? Straight out of Jurassic Park. Okay, I'm going to come to this question right now. Tara's, I know she wants to get so many questions as we can. I'm just going to stop here, and you can pan around and have a look at these wonderful, wonderful buffalo just lying here. I'll just sit here for a second. And I've got another question coming, so let's do that. Great question, Daniel from Year 4 from Westbury House School. Thank you so much for watching, buddy. Your school rocks. This is so cool. Your question is a great one about how does the size of the buffalo compare to the size of a cow in England. Well, I suppose it depends on what sort of cow you're talking about. The buffalo are probably going to be a little bit bigger than most of our domestic cows. And we'll probably... Jamie, what would you say a good adult buffalo size is?
Compared to a cow?
Well, just roughly in kilograms.
A big male, 900?
Yeah, I was going to say around easy, like 800, 900. Sometimes I reckon really, really big boys, you probably get excess of that a little bit. And that's kilograms, okay? But a big steer or a big bull, a prime bull, maybe a stud bull in England, might get up to the same thing. And It's really interesting. We've got loads of different creatures. There's a couple of animals we can't see right now, but they're just around that corner. There's one coming down to the water's edge now that I want to talk to you about. You can probably just go left a little bit and just a little bit more, mate, and coming into, that's it. Just on the edge of your left-hand side of your picture there, everyone, there's a beautiful, beautiful antelope called a nyala. And we can't get too much closer because they'll probably run away. But we'll just sit here for a little bit and see what else comes down. And that's a nyala. That's a beautiful antelope, about the same size again as maybe a red deer. So lots of similarities between the sizes of the animals. But the cow question, you know, I think the buffalo will probably weigh a bit more, but if you've got a big stud bull, and what I mean by stud is a big bull that they use because he's a really powerful animal, and they use to mate with other cows. They get really, really big, as do these massive buffaloes. But same family again, mate. Absolutely same family. Right. How much time have we got to go, Tara, if you don't mind me asking? 20 minutes. Oh, 2-0. That is fantastic. I thought we had 13 minutes. We had 30 minutes. That's brilliant news. Okay. I was going to give a big shout out to all the schools watching, but I'll keep that for a little bit later. So these buffalo are just starting to go into the water here. Now this is the last bit of remaining water on the reserve that's sort of proper drinking water. There's little pools around the place, but we get a lot of animals coming up to here, and these buffalo enjoy laying down in the cool water at the water's edge. It's something you might notice with the buffalo just to the left of screen, lying in the water, got his head facing outside the pond or the dam, excuse me. And the reason for that is that he can see exactly what's coming. If anything does decide to come down and try and attack him and eat him, he's got he's got his weaponry out the front, and lots of buffalo will do. I'm sorry, I just swallowed a fly.
Okay there.
Nothing like a bit of lunch on the move, my friends. It was quite a substantial fly as well. I can feel it going down my throat right now. Still alive. Just bear with me for a second, please. So that fly was quite tasty. Once you get into the bush, after a while you start to eat anything that you see. Particularly starting off at the smaller things. Like you can say, I'm only joking, everyone, of course I am. I reckon we should just sit here for a second. And Jamie and I brought something along that we might bring out to show you right now, because I was hoping that something was going to come along. But what we're going to do is put something up on the dashboard here. What do you think this might be? Dun dun dun! What do you think about that? Now, has anyone got access? Is Godstone School or Westbury School, have you got access to email? I'm not going to tell you what it is for a second. I'm going to tell you a little bit why skulls and bones and things are so important for us to learn from. Every animal ends up dying sometime in their life. They might be eaten by something, they might die of old age, or sometimes they might die of disease. And then I can't spot him. Where did you say?
Coming through at the back.
Okay,
He's
fantastic.
pop up by that big green tree.
Okay, I'm going to keep you in suspense for a second. I can't see him quite now.
He's there.
Okay.
Hiding.
What we might do is we might just come back and have a little chat about this skull, and then once Jamie spots my little friend, we're going to reveal this creature, and we'll talk about this for a second. So skulls are really, really important. We learn from them. We learn loads about the structure and the teeth, and wonder what you think might go in there. Can anyone think what goes in there? I think you probably know. Firstly, anyone know what this skull is from? There's a bit of a big giveaway at the top here. Yeah, you're exactly right. It's a giraffe skull. And it's a female giraffe skull at that. Or it might be a young male, but I'm pretty sure it's a female. And the reason I tell you that is because the males have normally got all lumps and bumps and knobbly bits all over what we call a mizzen horn here. And then they've got these two other horns. I'm still digesting my fly. And I didn't bring any water. Actually, Jeandré's being very kind now and giving me a little... Thanks, mate. Sorry, slobbering all over your water there, mate. I am just having a bit of a problem talking, folks. I do apologise. Much better. Now the fly's gone down into my stomach. Everything's fine. So the point of this whole conversation is that this is a giraffe. Oh, hang on. Oh, I can feel it in my tummy now. I think there's a poem or a story about that. I swallowed a fly. This is a giraffe skull, and we found it on the reserve. And these horns, they don't actually connect to the skull when they're born. They're actually flattened inwards to the skull. And there's this huge chemical process that goes on in all our bodies. You don't need to know the word because it's got too many S's and frications in it. But basically, what it means is some of the little cells inside, the little building blocks inside the giraffe's head there, end up fusing or connecting, gluing these horns to the top properly. So they're bent inwards like that. And you know why that is? It's to make mum's birth a little bit more comfortable. So when the giraffe comes out, the horns are flattened inwards to the skull, and they stand up like that. After about 4 to 7 years of age, they fuse and connect to the skull beautifully. So this is a giraffe skull, and that's where the eye would have been. And I'm just going to turn this up now a little bit like this, and you can see... Oh. They don't normally have sand in their skull. These are the teeth. Okay, big grinding molars. Beautiful big grinding molars, like all the animals that eat vegetation. They grind up their food with these big molars, and at the bottom there'd be another jaw like that. Okay, down the bottom with the same on the bottom. Very short teeth at the front on the bottom, but no teeth at the top. Now, the reason for that is that they've got a hard crushing plate at the top, and they use the... Has anyone ever seen a giraffe? Have you ever been to one of the zoos? Or you might have been to Africa. If you've been to Africa, fantastic. But they've got a really, really long tongue. It gets up to 1.5 school rulers long. What's that? 45 centimetres. Believe it or not, 45 centimetre tongue, about that long, and it comes out and it reaches out and it grabs foliage off and pulls it back into the mouth, holds onto it, pulls its head backwards, takes the food back into those really great molar, crunchy teeth, and then swallows it. And it's the same digestive system, same tummy, not as you and I, but as the buffalo that we saw earlier. It can grind that food up, swallow it, and go, and bring it back up. I really don't like doing that myself, but you can bring it back up and chew it over again. So that's very, very cool. I think I want to go and try and find that giraffe. He's not coming down, but that is a giraffe skull, and I think they're pretty cool pieces of teaching tools. Right, thank you. Right, let's just clear up our little desktop there. Now, Jamie. Okay, we've got a question. Whilst we're going over to try and find our giraffe, Jamie, if you can keep your eyes out for me. Jamie's got amazing eyes. She just goes tick, 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 tick. She's got like a really fantastic sonar system. She's going to be my giraffe spotter while I answer this next question. I'm just going to go through this dip, Hannah, and I'm coming to your question. Oh. It's okay, baby. It's okay. My friends, we just came around the corner looking for that giraffe, and look what we've found. We found the Ellies. Oh my goodness. question about buffalo. Please excuse me, just talking about elephants now because we might not have these for much longer, but they do look like they're feeding as well. How beautiful is this? We've got some other females down a little bit further. So this is a youngster. How old would you say this little guy is, Jamie, at a guess?
3-ish, 3.5.
Yeah, about 3.5 years old. Another one coming from down behind here as well, and I'm relying on Jeandré and Jamie to keep their eye because I'm facing camera. Whenever you're with elephant, you've always got to keep your eye on them. They're big animals, and if the mummy doesn't like you being around her baby, she might come and tell you that. But normally they get used to us very, very quickly, and you can see by how they're behaving. They're still eating. They're not worried about us. They're not concerned because they know our vehicle doesn't hurt them. So this is a beautiful thing to finish on, and I think we're going to stay here for about the next 10 minutes. We've only got about 10 minutes to go, so if you're happy to sit here with these guys, I'm happy to sit here with them and just be with them. We can talk about elephants for a while. Now, I don't know how many millions of years ago mammoths were found in the northern hemisphere offhand because I haven't been talking about mammoths for weeks, but the woolly mammoth, or the mammoth that was found in the northern hemisphere millions and millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of years ago, is related to these guys way down the track. And we have a beautiful little 3-year-old here, and his mum is just off to the right. He might come over a bit closer to us. He's eating grass at the moment, then he'll go up and eat some leaves, and he'll go back down for some grass and some leaves, just like you or I would at a lunch with family or friends. Then again, I hope you do eat your vegetables, guys, because your greens are really important. Just a little side note. Take an elephant, for example. Very important to follow an elephant. Eat your greens. And you can see that wonderful tail swinging there. Tiny little tail. Elephants don't have much hair on them at all. If you get up really close, there's a fine hair all over them. It's very hard to see from here until you're standing next to them. And not that we do that very often, that's for sure. But right at the tip of that tail is a little tiny tuft of hair, and that's the last sort of remnants of hair on the elephant. It gets quite long in the adults, swinging along there, getting rid of those tricky little biting flies that are really annoying. How great is this? Now, the elephant's digestive system, or the elephant's tummy, is very, very different to all the other animals we've seen. They don't have a very good digestive system in the sense that it's not as effective, or it doesn't get as much nutrition or goodness out of the plants like the giraffe and the buffalo's tummy does. Hello, my friend. That's a boy. There we go. And I always talk to animals. I think it's really important just to let them know that you're talking at a calm tone and a calm level. He's lovely, isn't he? And you can see he's flapping his ears there. Now, I reckon the temperature's gotten a little bit higher, don't you think, guys?
Definitely. I
think it's up to about 34 or 35 maybe now. That's degrees Celsius, so it's a bit tricky. It's good holiday weather for us that live in England. And those ears, they flap those ears just like a dog would pant, he'd stick his tongue out when he's really, really hot. And what they do is they move cool air behind their ears over a really, it's like a spider web of blood vessels or veins at the back of their ear. And those blood vessels or veins, just like you and I've got now, if you look down at your wrist right now, the back of your wrist, near the palm of your hand, you'll see some blue sort of lines under your skin. They're veins. That's what your blood goes around your body in, all over your body. Elephants have got them as well, all mammals, birds, fish. And those little blood vessels or veins are in cool air, and as they flap those ears, they cool their blood down and cool themselves down in turn. So it's a really great little system to keep them cool. He's getting a little bit closer to us. He's only about 10 meters away from us at the moment, but probably weighs about the same as your about half the size of your mum or dad's small car. I've got another question coming through. Okay, that's a great question, Amy. Thank you very much. You see lots of piles of dung in the road. I nearly stopped for one of those piles of dung, and the biggest round piles of dung, well, you just happen to be looking at pretty literally where that comes from. Without going into much more detail, we are talking about the elephant dung, the elephant poop, yes, elephant dung, manure, and all those other things. It is really, really important that you understand that this dung tells us a lot about the animal. We often investigate and show people what's in that dung. I can't obviously get out of the car now because it would be very, very unwise for me and not very respectful to the animals. You can see how comfortable they are with us. But that dung is from elephants, and it's full of sticks and grass and wood. Hello, my boy. Hello, my boy. He's just doing exactly what a little sort of 10-year-old would do, showing us his little bit of strength. And don't you come too close to me. Chewing his trunk there. Hello, my boy. You are great. You see those beautiful little white things poking out from under his trunk there as well? They're the beginnings of his tusks. Hello, my friend. Oh, this is a lovely little encounter. We've only got about 5 minutes to go, so whilst we're with our wonderful, wonderful friend here, I'm going to give a little bit of a shout out to all the wonderful schools that are watching. And let me just start. So what I want to hear is I want to hear you scream the roof off your school. I'm just going to get out of the way for, hello, my boy. I don't know if I can do the shout out at the moment. This is just too close and beautiful. It's okay, my boy. You are an absolute stunning creature. Isn't this wonderful, kids? Isn't this beautiful? You are live with us in Africa, 2 or 3 meters away from a baby elephant. And here comes Mama. She's pretty relaxed as well. I just want to make sure she's absolutely okay. She looks very, very relaxed. She's probably just going to come into shot in a second. Hello, my girl. Is this your youngster? I think it probably is. Can everyone see her? That's a mama. Hello, my girl. She's very relaxed. What I want to do, everyone, is I'm just not moving away from them too much, but I want to have a little talk to you. And as I talk to you, I want to look at the camera, and I don't want to ignore these guys, but I'm just going to sit ourselves up here so we can see them, still see them, and I can talk to you safely. Oh, hang on. Oh, we've got elephants all over the waterhole as well. I don't know what to do. We've got 3 minutes. I don't know what to do. Okay, I'm just going to come down here and we're going to finish with elephants in the background. Oh my goodness, there's elephants everywhere. Elephants in the water. Elephants all over the place. Oh, sorry guys. Oh my goodness, check this out. Final control. I'm going to make an executive decision here, folks. If it's all right with everyone, please can you ask Graham Wallington, could we just go for an extra 5 minutes? I'm not sure what the schools want to do, but how can we leave this? This is just... Oh, thank you so much, Graham. I just asked the boss, everyone, all schools listening, I just asked the boss, Graham Wallington, who's a wonderful chap, who's just allowed us to continue for a little bit longer. So if you want to watch a little bit longer, please do. How cool is this?
Oh, that's a tiny baby.
Oh, look at that little baby straight across there. That in the left-hand side of Jeandré's camera there, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 elephants, everyone. This is absolutely spectacular. Let's see where she wants to go. She's going down there. I'm just going to reposition. Okay, so folks, teachers and everyone, I know you've got to get back to class and things like that, but if you can stick around, it's absolutely fantastic. I'm not sure whether you're going into lunch or what. All I'm doing is repositioning the car for two reasons. Having the front of my car facing the waterhole with no escape is not a fantastic place to be. I've got two wonderful people on board with me as well, which is my responsibility. So I'm repositioning, and that way if we did get a little issue with one of the mummies that had a bit of a problem with her young baby, we could just drive away. So that's why I did it. Let's go back to the elephants, and I'll talk to you as we go. I'm right in front of a tree there, mate. Are you alright? Do you want me to go a bit further forward? Yeah, I'll go a bit. Oh, that little baby is so young. That's only months old, folks. Not even months, probably. I'm just going to go to here. Is that better, mate? Tell me when, yeah? Oh, look at this, folks. This is Africa. This is what it's about. You can't plan this. Kids, what you're watching right now is one of the most beautiful scenes that you could ever imagine. I dreamt about this when I was a little boy, and here I am doing it right now. So what I want to share with you, if you have a dream to work with wildlife or work in the outdoors, you just chase it, guys. You chase it as hard as you possibly can, and you can do stuff like this as well. How cool is this? So we've got a very young baby right across there. I think Jeandré's, if he can just cross over. I'm so sorry I'm chopping and changing you, mate. Right across. You always know a baby is very young when he can walk under his mama like that. Oh my goodness, that is... Jamie, what would you say, mate? That's under a month old, isn't it? Weeks.
Couple of weeks.
Weeks old. So I've just got to be a little bit... Oh my gosh. This is incredible. I've just got to be a little bit aware of what's going on around me here. Because we've got elephants all around us at the moment. So please understand that I'm fully talking to you and focusing on you, but I've got elephants coming from all directions. Everything's absolutely fine at the moment, but you've just got to be careful, kids, so you don't get in a position where one of the mummies would get a little bit upset with us. And this one here, right in front of us, is the matriarch. Don't you think, Jamie? Do you think so? She's big, eh?
Either her or the one that I've tested.
Yeah, that one over there too, maybe. I tell you, you're right, you know. Maybe it's that one over the other side. Oh, this is spectacular, folks. Oh my gosh, teachers, kids, everyone watching. If you just stumbled across this on the internet, this is for Surrey schools that I work for when I work in England, and we're having an elephant encounter that is just to die for. This is unbelievable. This is so extraordinary. To finish on this for you, I just want to double check what's going on here with this gentleman. We've got a boy coming up just here as well. He's probably fine. So this is a young male that's just trailing behind the herd. Just if some of the females you might be interested in, and we'll just watch this. But it's just lovely to be around these beautiful creatures. Look at him going down there like a big boy. He's a bit cheeky, I can see that. He's just in his step and the way that he's walking. Okay, I'm going to just reposition you. Oh, this is beautiful. What a lovely way to finish, guys, eh? Tell me how far I've got there, Jamie. Good? Okay. Keep going. Look at this. Oh, proper. guys. Just keep focused on this. It's so fine, but I'm going to tell you what's going on that you can't see. There's tens more elephant coming through the woodland at the moment. Oh my goodness, what a massive herd of elephant this is. So what we've probably got here is either one breeding herd or maybe two together. And sometimes there'll be related females from another herd as well. But there's more and more and more coming through. And you're going to see them walking into screen in a minute. But that little baby is only weeks old, Jamie, hey?
Yeah.
Jeandré, that is beautiful, mate. Oh, kids, this is so special to have you with us here. Just getting an update from Tara. Yeah, look, I totally agree. Thank you so much, Tara. I've just talked to our final control, and Tara and Nikki are directing for me today, and they are so happy to stay with this sighting as we are. Now, Amy, my director in the United Kingdom, is watching as well, and I'm going to let you communicate with us and tell us if you're happy for us to continue a little bit longer, my friend. If you can tweet us or email us right now, hashtag Safari Live or questions at WildEarth.tv, and tell us if you're happy to carry on for another, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes. I know schools, you may have to go to next lessons or lunch or something like that, but if you can, keep watching and have your lunch or carry on and maybe do your mathematics to elephants. I don't know. Please stick with us, because this is just so fantastic to be around. All these beautiful little communications that they have with each other. So think about elephants a little bit like you think of your family or your friends' families, or maybe your extended family. You might have brothers and sisters, you might not as well. And your cousins, your relatives, your all different types of relatives that you've got. And this is a little bit like what an elephant herd is. Just over to, it's lots of activity going on, and they're loving this. Elephants will always want to come down and try and drink every day when they can. Sometimes if it's in the desert, in really dry areas, they have to do it every couple of days because the water holes are so far apart. But here, this is a really good amount of water for them to still come to on a daily basis and get a drink and have a wash and have a bit of fun with their family. It's a bit of bonding time. It's like going to the beach with mum and dad, grandma, grandpa, your cousins. I love how the buffalo just is standing there going, whoa, 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 hang on. There's a few too many elephant here for my liking. But they're still sticking there, standing their ground. How lovely. Elephants down there are splashing themselves with mud, and there's another lot just over here. I might just have to move forward for you, Jeandré, a little bit. There's a lovely little probably this is more like a normal number of breeding number that you'd get, Jamie, hey? Sort of 9 to 11 animals, and then sometimes a couple of groups will meet each other. I'm just getting an update from Nikki and Tara right now. Well, folks, this is the most incredible thing about communication in our day and age. Kids, we are so lucky to live in this day and age and be able to communicate like this. I just asked my boss in Surrey Wildlife Trust if we can stay a little bit longer. She said yes. Fantastic stuff, Amy. Thank you, Amy Clark. You rock. How could we go away from this, eh? This is just fantastic. So thank you, everyone. And I'm going to get a few thank yous in while I can. And I have to thank WildEarth and National Geographic, Nat Geo Wild, actually, I do apologise. Nat Geo Wild and WildEarth, two incredible organisations that have put this project together. WildEarth is responsible for everything here and this wonderful idea of broadcasting live to the schools and to everyone out there to go on a safari every day. And I also have to thank the Surrey Wildlife Trust. Surrey Wildlife Trust managing a massive amount, about 5 Surrey's department, and you want to come down to Noah Wood and those guys do. Down to Noah Wood in Leatherhead, or you want to come to Bay Pond Nature Reserve in Godstone and say hi. Bay Pond Nature Reserve in Godstone and say hi. Thanks to everyone. Firstly, it's amazing to be here and share this with you all. This is an okay, we've got the picture. Surrounding me here, guys, so I'm going to have to leave, I think. All around us, I think it's probably a good time. We've got a question. The exact amount for you, and it's Amy checking the book for me to see if we can find it. Hannah, I would never forget you. Elephants can eat up to like a 250, 220. Lots of leaves, and I'm not sure. And it's a really good question because we're going to have to shut down any second now. We've got about 15 minutes over, but I want to just say thank you to everyone for watching. It's a really, really important for you to see if I can find that information whilst it's approaching us from the side here, and see if I can get that number for you, Hannah. Just looking. To get the amounts that they actually eat. I don't. If you could ask your teacher to send WildEarth, teachers, if you're listening, if you can send WildEarth a a email, questions@WildEarth, and we've probably got your email actually. So I'm going to find out for you, Hannah, and send you an email and get that information to you. The right info.
Probably about 30 to 40 kilograms.
30 to 40 kilograms. We'll double check on that for you. I've got more elephants coming up. So I'm going to say farewell. I'm going to say thank you to everyone. We've thanked everyone. Thank you, Surrey Wildlife Trust, for being part of this. WildEarth, Nat Geo Wild. This is what the future's about, kids. The most important thing I want you to leave with is this environment, this habitat, anywhere in the world is yours. If you look after it and understand it, you'll protect it. The more you learn about it, the more you'll protect it, okay? Find it. It's the best place you could ever be. See you.